Oh, hey kids. I'm glad you're here. These little master cylinders that I know nobody would ever use because they're not safe. But they were safe for a lot of years-ish. This little master cylinder has caused a lot of controversy. I wanted to address a few things, and I found out some more information. So this is the last video you will see on this subject. Unless, of course, I'm installing one. Which I probably won't. Like most of you, 2-pot master cylinder. It's safer. Depends on who's building it, I guess. I found the box. There's the box. There's the part number. M21000. New master cylinder. New. Not rebuilt. New. I looked in the box and heaven be the instructions for said master cylinder. Now I've got brake fluid on it, so it's a little harder to read. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I want to read a little caption here. Secure master cylinder in vise by clamping the mounting flange, not to the casting of the bore. You'll distort it. Okay. If outlet ports have non-threaded protective caps installed, remove them and install the provided solid bleeder tubes. The blue ones that I told you about in the last video. By the way, I'll stick that last video up here somewhere. Up here, right? Part 1. Tighten by hand to seat. The plugs must be tight enough to keep air from entering the master cylinder through the ports, but over tightening results in stripping the plastic threads and rendering them useless. Well, it's kind of what I did, so I just crushed it in the bench vise, right? Did the same thing. Fill the reservoir with appropriate brake fluid. Now listen to this part. Using a blunt instrument or wooden dowel to avoid damage, slowly depress the piston into the bore using no more than 1-inch stroke. Do not bottom out piston. Slowly release the piston to the rest position and wait 15 seconds to avoid fluid aeration. Repeat steps 4 or 5 until air bubbles cease to appear in the reservoir. Just like I showed you in the last video. Okay? So a lot of the comments were, well, for one, I would never use one of those. Okay. There's people in this world that want to replace that exact same one. So it's needed information. The other comments were, well, I've rebuilt 100 of them and I never had that problem. I did find out the factory master cylinders say Delco on the side, made in USA. So I thought I'd go out to my 57 body that's out there that still has the master cylinder on it from when I got it. The car came up from Texas in 1999 and got parked here in Indiana, and it sat for all that time. Then I bought it. So the master cylinder came off of it. Looks so similar. Says made in USA on the side. It's got the same plastic cap, same double ports. Apparently a 55, a 56, and early 57s had a banjo bolt with the brass thing that the line would screw into. So this is, in fact, an aftermarket master cylinder. So what I did, it was frozen. I soaked it overnight, and I was able to push the piston, at least bottom it out, and it stayed there. I couldn't get it out. And found out that the holes where the fluid goes in are exactly on this one. The outer seal that keeps fluid from coming out the push rod area that Dan and Dee Dee Speed Shop was having trouble with. Same as this one. So if somebody was rebuilding these and never had that trouble, it wasn't these. It was the original ones. Maybe weren't like that. More comments. Some of the old timers said, yeah, I wonder that's why you were always told not to push it all the way to the floor when you bleed the brakes. Because fluid will come out. Now, like I've explained a lot of times, that boot fits on here pretty tight, and the boot fits around the push rod pretty tight. So if you did that a few times, you'd never know it. You'd never know it. If you did it enough, I don't know, 50 times, this would get enough fluid in it that you'd see, oh, why is fluid coming out? More than likely, you're not going to do it that many times. But who knows? So that's the deal. These aftermarket master cylinders from at least 1999 were made to be bled the way I told you, not to be pushed all the way to the floor the way I told you, and the instructions tell you. I have a 57 Chevrolet shop manual. It does not say not to or to push it all the way to the floor. So it's very possible that the original ones didn't do that. I have no clue. I don't know. Can't find one, don't have one. I wish I did, and we'd do a test. But with all that, it kind of brings me to another subject in this whole, you know, us working on cars and who's a hack and who's not a hack. One thing I'll tell you is when I did that Cadillac, I found one of the front fenders had sheet metal pop riveted on top where it had been rotted out. Then they beat the crap out of it with a hammer and filled it full of Bondo. Now, I wouldn't do anything like that. I wouldn't. At this point in my life and the skills that I have, I wouldn't do that. But that person that did that preserved that car. How, Uncle Mike? How did he preserve that car? Well, he took it to an auction where Ralph bought it because it looked like a nice car. Ralph kept it in his barn for 19, 20 years, or I bought it. If that original guy never fixed that thing up, it had gone to the scrap. It wouldn't be sitting in my garage right now, done and restored and looking nice. Fixed right. They're as right as I could fix it. So that hack saved that car. And I guess is what I'm saying is, hey, anybody that does anything to an old car to preserve it, keep it on the road, keep it looking good, keep it going from the scrapper, it's a good thing. You may not want to do that to your car. If somebody else does that kind of stuff to their car, it is what it is. It's their car. Like Dan, in his videos, he does the stuff the way he wants to do it, and that's not totally out of ignorance. He's not a dummy. I've never talked to the man before. He's not a dummy. Simple mistake like this, you know, relative to some of us that worked on this kind of stuff, he's a kid. So what? I'd have probably, if I'd never known it any better, I'd have done the same thing. And not knocking Dan any, but I didn't read the instructions. The only reason I knew something funny was going on is because I saw the video. Making these videos is tough. Sometimes I'm out here from 7 o'clock on a Saturday night till 3 o'clock in the morning. And then by 5 or 6 a.m., I'm pressing the upload button because that's all I have the time for. Now, a hack to me, stuff that I could hack, I don't. I do my best not to because I want to do good work. A lot of stuff for videos, a lot of stuff is done differently because of a video. And I do the same thing because I put these videos out once a week, at least, of the car working videos. To show progress, to keep things moving. And the good thing is, the blessing in disguise, all that work every Saturday night, look how far I've gotten on that MGA, sitting right over there. If it weren't for me making videos of it, I'd come out here just whenever I felt like it. I'd come out here on a Saturday night, piddle a little bit, drink some beer, and go inside. I wouldn't get nothing accomplished like I am now, but it's because of making videos for you kids. I want you to be proud of me. I want you to go, man, that guy can get stuff done. Right? That's what it's about. So let's be nice to each other. Not give old Dan such a hard time. I'm here to just tell you, there's no reason for it, right? If you got something nice to say, say it. If you got advice and constructive criticism, go ahead and say it. But be nice about it. It's this whole YouTube thing, it can be pretty tough on a guy. And I don't do videos every day, but I work on them all week long in my head, think about what I'm going to do, how I'm going to accomplish this in one night. It's tough. Constructive criticism is fine. I get it all the time, trust me. But that's all I have to say on the old master cylinder issue. We come across other issues, I might show you and figure it out. Let's get together and figure some stuff out and be good to each other. This stuff's hard to do, and you guys are watching all of this, so let's stick together, help each other out. All right, stick around. Come this Sunday, this 57 Chevy frame's going to go through quite the transition. Yep. See you kids later. Junk out.